All this by hand. All the border, everything on it's by hand except she quilted it for me.
And I think Mama got it for her at a yard sale for Christmas. Well, we got it at a yard sale and we gave it to her for Christmas.
I was in 3 panels, so I had to embroidery all of it in 3 different panels. And then I had to sew the panels together. So these flowers will have, it's got a line running through them, and I had to meet and match up 3 different panels where everything lines up in the whole quilt, even on this part and all.
And how long did it take you to do all of that on this one?
It took me about 2 months to get this one embroidered.
So that's what you did this winter?
Right. Yeah. I just finished Nathan's. I'm working on Jeremy. I done 5 quilts this winter.
So how do you store these?
I have pillowcases that zip. They're made out of cotton, and I just fold them and put them in it, because if you put them in plastic, they'll want to sweat, and then they'll mildew and ruin on you. So if you put them in those, anything in cotton, and store them that way, then they'll be fine. They won't change colors. They'll just look like this. This is the one I'm doing at home, and I started it the other day. I'm working on it. It will be jars, and it will be all kinds. Well, I've actually started sewing the lid on it, but I cut them out, and I'm going to be making a vegetable jar quilt with this. I've got them sewed right here, so I'll have to sew them on, and then they'll go on another piece to make a square, and then I'll sew them all together. But it's all kinds of vegetables, and I've also got one that's all kinds of fruit. So this is a quilt that will be coming up.
And I had volunteered to embroider on all the white pieces for her, if she wants.
Cindy's going to embroider them on them, because while she's doing that, I have another project that I'm working on. And it will be a quilt. And it will be a jar with flowers in it. So while I'm embroidering on this, once I get these ready and get them squared off on the square, Cindy's going to go around them for me, because if you don't go around, what this does, it'll ravel out. So you have to turn it under and go around it. So Cindy's going to do that for me once I get them ready for her, while I'm embroidering on this one. And he was rolling in the floor, and his, oh Lord, oh. I said, what in the world's wrong with you? You and your sewing and your stupid pins, he said. He ran a dang pin in his foot. It went part up the top, it bent. And we like to take things to get it out. I swear I laughed. I thought I would die. It was so funny. But I mean, he rammed it a good one. But I hadn't had no pins on that side of the room. I don't know how it got over. I was over in my little world. It was so funny. Back then, you didn't have to be at school. I mean, you was excused to work in the garden. You was excused from school to work in tobacco. I mean, that's just the way we had to live, and the way the farmers lived around here. And it was an excused absent if you had to work in tobacco or work in the garden or work in the hay or anything, babysit or anything like
That was
that.
considered like a trade school.
Yeah, you was excused. So we wasn't counted against your absent.
But there wasn't no way I was supposed to stay home working no garden or working no tobacco patch. So I went to school.
Well, it says the 28th, so you can today. But corners are down.
What can you plant this week?
Yeah, I know, but I hadn't looked to see if corners was up or not.
They go up on the 30th. They're crossways tomorrow.
So can I plant this evening?
It says you can by this, but the corners ain't up yet. It's got the rain.
Her calendar's just like ours because I got them all at the same time.
Bowels is yesterday. Bowels is yesterday. That's when it rains. And the rain. That's the line, 30 and 31st.
You can't.
What are you going to plant?
She sifted all that dirt.
Seeds. Plant tomato seeds and
Is that
little
you
seeds.
gonna? Oh, okay, good.
She kept
Want
waiting.
them fine
She
so
took that
it'll
horse,
they
took
come
it
through
all
the ground easy.
and sifted it out here.
You just use old egg cartons and stuff?
Well, that was a bag we'd bought, and then I had some cow dirt and ground it up.
Cow turds.
He said cow dirt.
Thought he said turds.
No, I said dirt.
It's garden time in Tennessee. We are getting ready to plant potatoes, and Ed's getting the fields ready to do it.
All right, tater planting time. Looks like Mick's got 4 rows laid out. He's picky. He places each potato with their eyes popped up so they can grow straight up to the sky. Say, hey, Mr. Garden Man, grow me some potatoes so I can fry them in the pan. What are you doing there, Granny?
I'm going to plant some potatoes. I'm cutting the eyes out so we can put them in the ground.
What do you cut the eyes out for?
Get the potatoes, so that's what makes the potatoes, the eyes. See these little eyes? And when you put them in the ground, you put them down like that so the eyes is up. So they can see to get out of the ground.
What sign do you plant taters in?
When the pointers are up.
Okay, here's some of the plants we've got started. We've got cabbage. Plenty of cabbage. There's Mama's little group of cucumbers. I've got peppers back here. They've not come up yet. And that's cucumbers. We have tomatoes that are ready to go in the ground, but it's a little too early. More cabbage, and broccoli, and my peppers aren't up yet. Here's my little garden. Got our cabbage and our broccoli. Frosty can get them. Our little onions popped up everywhere. And that row right there is my peas. And then here's my lettuce bed. And I've got little bitty lettuce up everywhere.
Cucumbers and tomatoes. And then them are peas. Ready. Little.